welcome to the pod, Michael.
Yeah.
What do you think of this new Pleb Lab?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, this is my first time here. It took me a minute to get in. And I was like walking around in circles, like everything was blocked off.
Yeah, dude, there was a freaking murder out there.
There's a murder outside. It's only up from here, Carl.
I don't know. I know, dude, right? Did you see the...
you guys got to clean this place up.
Dude, did you see the property manager came in right now?
Mm-mm.
So she was like...
Oh, I did. I didn't know what
she was like,
about.
the detective called me. And I was like, cool. What does that mean? Did you guys see anything? I'm like, no. I didn't see anything. Like, I don't know if that was like what she was saying through that, but... Anyways,
you guys put out a Bitcoin hit, man.
It can only go up like from you. So would you send a telegram? It can only go up from here.
But you know,
but I think honestly, like across the street, dude, like they're just bad men there. And we just stay in our little bubble and we have security around here. So that's like one good thing. So we have security 24/7. So that's cool. So they don't mess with us, but on the other side of the street, we really can't control that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, look, you know, I guess it was a homeless. I mean, I'm walking around and I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't get in because there was yellow tape everywhere. Like, do not enter, do not cross. And I'm like trying to get in with Annalise from ibex. We're like trying to find our way in here.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look.
And we couldn't. And then we see a dead body over there.
Shut up. Really? There was a dead body?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but fuck, really?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here laughing. You know me, like I worked in the hospital. Like
oh yeah, you're used to it.
Yeah, I don't think a whole lot of it. And the circumstances, you know, I guess we're whatever. But yeah, I mean, yeah, hey, only up from here, man. Up only.
Up only.
You guys are going to clean this whole block up?
Hope
We're going to
so.
start from here and turn this. Turn this.
You got to get it cleaned up
orange.
before next week, though. BitBlock Boom is next week.
Clean it up, man. Clean it up.
Try, dude.
Rainey Street's different.
Yeah, Rainey Street's way safer than Dirty Six. You know.
Yeah. I mean, and it appears that this guy it was like a drug deal gone wrong, maybe or something.
I have no idea.
I mean, I think he was. Anyway,
I have no idea. But we're here today to talk about the Bitcoin block party. What's up with this? You're joining a Bitcoin block party again? Are you crazy? How much work was this, dude? You remember what it was like last time, dude. Did I ever tell you? Like, that was literally one of the hardest things I ever did was doing the Bitcoin block party. And that's because I wasn't even the one onboarding them like you were. But like all the extra work, dude, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Just talk about the work first. Let's talk about the work to put one of these together. How hard is it, Michael?
So look, I am not someone that if I do something hard in the moment, it's hard, but always looking back, I was like, yeah, we did it. You know, like, have you ever sometimes just taken in stride and you go, and you're right. I mean, looking back really, like it was a lot of work.
Monumental.
Like, it was talking to the businesses, pounding them, hammering them like, hey, let's do this. I'll get you set up. I'll get you started. And they had no understanding of how any of this worked. And so we have to slowly, you know, it took about a month, I guess, really, which is Kyle and I first went there. And I think we got
running for a month. It was like nonstop till 2 a.m. sometimes.
And then in the meantime,
that's because you went to El Salvador a week before and we were like, don't go.
I know. I was like, guys, I got to go.
It still turned out all right.
I was like, guys, I got to go. Don't worry. We got this. Yeah. I was definitely trying to be like the voice of reason.
I know. I was freaking out. I was like, Michael, what are you thinking? Don't go.
But I think that's too where, I don't know. I do have like this, it's hard, but it's like, it's going to work. Like we're going to do it. Right.
Yeah. And we did.
And we did it. And,
because I still, to this day, people still come up to me and like say that was a monumental thing you guys did together. Like everybody, because literally we had people from Capital Factory that were helping us. ABC was helping us. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just showing up the day of and helping us. That's when we first met Dono the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
He's like, reporting for duty, sir. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, man.
Who is this guy?
What an awesome guy. Such an awesome guy.
But yeah, dude, that I think for me, like Bitcoin block party, it literally kicked off the Austin Bitcoin scene. I think that was the thing that really showed like what we could do as a city of Bitcoiners if we really put our mind to it.
Yeah, I think how, so let's talk about a little background. So first of all, like what is the Bitcoin block party?
Yeah. Tell them, where'd you get the idea from?
Yeah, so the Bitcoin block party is, you find a dense location of businesses so that you can just overrun a specific location with Bitcoiners. Okay. So like you got one end of the street of Rainey Street that's like relatively empty. And you have the other end where we all were that was like freaking hundreds and hundreds of people all using Bitcoin, paying in Bitcoin, earning Bitcoin rewards, right? And so you're getting these businesses exposure to Bitcoin for the first time. You're getting a lot of consumers exposure to Bitcoin for the first time. And you're getting a lot of Bitcoiners exposure to actually pay for something in the real world with Bitcoin for the very first time. So it was like a magical moment for some people. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times we take that for granted. I mean, there were people that flew out from all over the country just to participate in that, and not just participate in that for themselves, but to support the businesses who are open and willing to participate in something like this, right? And so we got, I don't know, like 13, 14, 15 businesses, then some like just in that one little area. And then on Rainey Street and then some more businesses like in the surrounding areas accepting Bitcoin and running promotions and stuff.
Because I think initially you guys wanted it to do it where? Because I remember I was the one like, no, we need to do it on Rainey Street.
Oh yeah.
Because I think initially you guys wanted to do it like on, was it like South Congress or something? And I was like, no, maybe, dude. I was like, it'd be easier on Rainey Street because it's like, we'll have our own little block. It'd actually be a block party.
For sure. Yeah.
I was like,
so now here's like the story of it, right? Yeah. So like, this is where we're getting into how it all like originated. Like I was just like, I can get these businesses.
You had done it in Reading, right?
Yeah, we had done it in Reading. So I reached out to Kyle and I was like, because Kyle, I heard him on like John Vallis's podcast, and he was talking about like Bitcoin and community in Austin and what you and Kyle were doing. He's like, oh yeah, Carl and I started this thing and we're doing this. So I showed up at the Capital Factory in like October or something. Yeah. And at first I reached out to Kyle and I was like, hey, I have like this idea for something that we did in Reading and we want to do it more in Austin. We want to get businesses all accepting Bitcoin, and we did it here on a smaller scale. We can do it here on a bigger scale. And Kyle was like, let's fucking go. And then I met you and you guys were so stoked and so hyped. And you're like, we know just the place to do it. Like I think it was you and Kyle.
Yeah, because I was a local, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Rainey Street for sure. Here's the place. Like right here. This is it right here in the video that we have in the back. This is literally the place right now. Rainey Street.
Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah, this is it. 75 Rainey Street, all these different food trucks. They've changed now. There's different food trucks now, but they're all accepting Bitcoin. They'll be accepting Bitcoin August 24th.
I love it.
From 7 to 7 p.m. Wednesday, August 24th. All right. It's during BitBlock Boom Week. A lot of people are going to.
Oh, that's the same. I think that place is still there, right? Or no?
I think most of them are out of there now. They recycle. There's different ones there now.
Oh, no.
Mr. Sandwich is still there. Like,
Mr. Sandwich is good, dude.
Yeah. So like
I paid a lot of lightning.
Yeah, man.
Sandwich.
And then across the street.
It's right there, dude.
Tipsy Alchemist.
Dude, I love that
there's
place.
A new one there called Cantina 512.
Really?
Another one that
Are we going there tonight? Is that where it's going on
tonight?
Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
Dude, we're freaking spoiled here.
I know. Yeah.
Man.
And then we'll try to get Little Lucy's. Little Lucy's there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I talked with them a long time ago. I talked with the owner and he was like, yeah, we actually used to accept Bitcoin payments back in like 2013. Yeah. 2014. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, it worked out well for us. But here's this one thing that we don't like. And our staff doesn't like it whenever people come and pay with Bitcoin and then they just don't shut up about paying a Bitcoin for like 20 minutes. And then the staff
that's what it is.
Can't even work because the customer is like, oh yeah, let me tell you about Bitcoin. Which is awesome. Dude, hey, that's a feature, not a bug.
At the Meteor this morning, because we were at the Meteor this morning, and I forget the girl's name. I always talk to her all the time. And she was like, pay with Bitcoin? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, she's a whiz now. And I was like, you've come a long way from the first time I gave you Bitcoin. And she was like, yeah, I have. Yeah. She's like, now I'm like, I legit know what I'm doing. Yeah. But it took her, 2 months?
Yeah.
A month?
And that's also what I wanted to dive into. Like this whole process is iterative. Like after the block party, like we were over here thinking like, we didn't know how many people were going to show up. Like 200 would have been nice. I think you were like, no way, man.
I was way low. I was like, no, this is going to take it down a notch, guys. Let's just be humble about it.
You were bearish, right?
I was super bearish.
And I was like, there's got to be like at least 200, right? I was like, we figure there's got to be at least 200. But you're like, I don't know. And sure enough, like we know for a fact that there were like over 400 like Oshi users alone that were like there buying stuff for sure. But there were like a lot of plus ones. There were some people that just showed up just to hang out.
Yeah, and there's people that were walking by like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? And even the cops showed up. That's when I knew we really were successful. was like, they're going to try to shut us down, but they can't because there's too many people.
Yeah, no, everybody's just here
When the
buying
cops
stuff
show
from
up,
Bitcoin.
Michael, that's when you know you're doing something right.
Well, what's the problem, right? We're just it's just a busy Thursday night.
Yeah.
Buying stuff from local food trucks. So we're not doing it with shitty money. We're doing it
one
with
of
Bitcoin.
the Oshi guys, the Oshi team that you had, one of them tried to get the cop to download Oshi app and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Yeah, man, that was such a team effort. Those guys were awesome too, man. They showed up. They showed up with Oshi merch. I still have yet to actually make an Oshi t-shirt. They made Oshi t-shirts on their own. They were like, Oshi staff.
That's the thing about Oshi that I think most people don't get. It's the true organic social network that's built into the Oshi app. And people are still not pricing that in right now.
Right.
No one's pricing in the social aspect to Oshi. No one's pricing in how many people you've onboarded. No one's pricing in all the goodwill you've done in other cities, not just Austin, around Oshi. Like no one's pricing that in because in the future, Michael, when everybody's accepting Bitcoin, why am I going to be using Square or why am I going to be using Strike when my best friend and the people that I've ran with my whole entire life is running Oshi? I'm going to use Oshi. I'm going to make sure every one of my family members uses Oshi. Right. And like, this is where like, I don't think most people understand yet that like when you build out communities, this goes back to the Fedi thing. Everybody's going to use their community bank. No one's going to want to do business with anybody. They don't have a personal relationship in the future when everybody's holding Bitcoin. But what do I know? I'm just a car.
First of all, thank you for the kind words. There is a lot going on behind the scenes that I don't do a very good job. Like, again, like we talked about earlier, yeah, what we did was like really
impossible,
difficult, and it took a lot of work. But really, none of us really talked that much about like, oh, like, look how much we did. We did so much. We just like, hey, here's this thing. Come out, enjoy it. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that is definitely underappreciated. And again, one of my problems is like, I take everything in stride. So you're never going to hear me talking.
Yeah, you never complain
myself too much. Like
you never complain, dude.
We just do it. And so, you know, what we did, we got all these people. We estimate there were probably about 600 people that evening.
I would say there was like closer to 800, including like the regulars, like the normies, the normal people that would normally walk through there. I would say there was a total of, there was one point, bro, where I literally couldn't move around because I was stuck.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that I know, like, you know, there's privacy concerns, but there were photos that were taken, but it was no photos were ever taken like during whenever it was actually like,
oh really,
popping. Yeah, I saw some photos on Twitter and stuff. And again, that's my problem too. I don't ever take photos. Like, you're enjoying the time. Yeah, and like so. There were so many people there at one point, but I look on Twitter and stuff. There's not a single photo. It was whenever it was like jam packed there. There's always like maybe whenever like half the people were there. Yeah. Or like maybe it was like whenever, because people were just enjoying themselves.
Yeah. Then we went to Tipsy and that was packed.
Yeah.
I just remember everybody was like running around, like having a good time. I remember Ben Carmen coming down the corner and he was just like, you owe me Sats car.
Yeah.
Because I lost the bet.
It was so obvious. There were so many people there. And you know, it's for a lot of people, that was their first experience. Like, I think I heard so much positive words from people like, man, this is amazing. Like, thanks so much for doing this. That means a lot. But what we did right after that, we're like, all right, we got a lot of things to work out here. Like with the experience, like teaching the businesses, teaching their staff, like we need to find new tools. Oh, there aren't any? All right, we got to make new tools. So we totally revamped, like literally, if you look at like our numbers in our app, it was like a massive spike in Block Party and like a massive dump. Cause we did not, all we were doing was like building after that. We're like just building. You didn't hear much from us. We were just figuring this shit out. Cause we like, all right, we learned stuff. It was great. Everybody loved it, but it's not good enough. Like, we have to do it better. We have to improve the process. What were the pain points? How were people confused with the Oshi app? Like just the businesses. Mm-hmm. So this time around, it's going to be better. It's going to be a lot better.
I think, I don't know. I feel like for me, the process wasn't as bad as you might think, Michael. I remember I think the biggest problem that I had was like switching over to like whatever wallet, like Blue Wallet. I think I was using Blue Wallet at the time.
And that's way better now.
And that's not even a problem anymore. Now
we pioneered that shit. We like
everybody stole the idea.
That's okay.
But this is where I realized like if it wasn't for Oshi, there's a lot of these things that you basically like had set the foundation for the groundwork for what needed to be done when it comes to this type of like product.
Right.
And like, there's a lot of people that are like basically building on top of that idea. And for the better, it's still helping Bitcoin regardless if you're holding Bitcoin. But to me, it's just like, there's a lot of things that in the early days that you came in, you taught me a lot early on, dude. Like I thought I worked hard. I say this all the time. I thought I worked hard. I don't work as hard as Michael. And I used to get pissed off about that.
You work pretty damn hard.
Yeah, I know. But it used to piss me off when you would come in and you'd be like, going home so soon, car? I'd be like, dude, it's midnight. And you would still be there. And I think you would just stay late just to like say that you, and then towards the end, I'd be like, I would be showing you up and I'd be like, Michael, what's going on? You stopping? Like, but those are like the early days of Pleb Lab.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, you're a hard worker.
Well,
man.
it comes in waves. We're picking back up again heavy. Like we focus so much on product and, you know, we're back in the field a bit more. And we're really trying to create better experiences for users. We've really been doing behind the scenes stuff for businesses, working on like integrations, like point of sale integrations, like integrations with different payment providers, making the process as seamless as possible, not just for us and for like others to help introduce businesses, but for the businesses themselves. And like, that's a lot of work that's taken place that doesn't really like reflect in the consumer experience. And we haven't gotten everything right either. Like we're constantly iterating. But we have but the beautiful thing about that is through that we learn and we see things and we're getting like this experience in the real world by presenting this to businesses, even though it's not quote unquote ready, right? Like we're learning so much. So like in the coming months, there are going to be different features that we're working on that we'll be releasing that are just
anything you can tell the plebs right now, like, or is it too?
I think we want to release, we want to keep it kind of under wraps right now until it's ready. Not to keep it a secret, but it's like, look, a lot of the ideas that coming from your brain are like, a lot of people are like, Michael, what else are you working on? Let me know. So we can use it in our app first. Yeah. And so it's like, really? Yeah. Like let the guy have it. Yeah. So sometimes we're like, look, we want to play around with it ourselves. Cause at the end of the day, look, there's a big open source movement in Bitcoin, right? Mm-hmm. And that's amazing. And so there's like this big, like altruistic thing. And I am like so guilty of like I'm in it for the revolution and the ideology, but at a certain point you have to freaking realize that, hey, guess what? Like you do, like if you want to see this vision through, that takes money. Like, so you need to find a way to make sure, like, you know, if you think you have something that's really great, and something like this can't just be open source because like we're actually like, what is an open source marketplace for Bitcoin? Well, that's Silk Road. Like I can't go out and build Silk Road. Okay. Like we're trying to make this easy for business owners. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that, look, there are some things that we're working on that, you know, there's going to be ways for us to monetize off of these things. And that's going to help push the whole space forward because it's ideas coming out of my mind and others that are close to us that are working on this and trying to crack this code. Like we should have some legs under this so that we can keep pushing the boundaries. So, you know, early on I learned, like I was sharing so many ideas and then I would see like copycats, which is totally fine. But now I'm like, okay, I get this. Like, look, if we want to propel this forward the way we want to do it, we need to like do it without sharing everything we're doing before we release it. I remember. We have to protect ourselves a little bit so that we can forward things.
I remember in the early days of Pleb Lab when you came in and I was like, you know, Michael, and I think I had told Kyle this, and I was like, Kyle, Michael's like one of a kind. Like Oshi app is Michael's idea, but Michael, it has like the best ideas. And I don't think people realize how you look at product. And that was one thing I told Kyle, like, I was like, that's his superpower. Michael has a superpower. It's that he's able to take a product and then look at it and then really dial it in. And we did that together. Remember when we were working with Zaprite in the beginning? You literally spent time. I mean, John did his own thing, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
But like you spent time and you're like, well, you should probably do this, this, and this, and this. And it was like, to me, it was like, yeah, like Michael's the guy you talk to when you need help with product, because you can look at your app and he can literally point out all the things that you probably could do better. And I remember saying that about you like early on, like you have unlimited ideas and a lot of them are really great. So it's,
thank you.
Dude, you should keep it close to the chest on this one.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Because yeah, man, everybody knows.
And that's capitalism too, right? I mean, look, what you want to do
what's also
the beautiful
staying alive.
Yeah, and in capitalism, you have to stay alive to keep going. Like you have to make some.
You're running a company, like you just need to stay alive. Like
otherwise, you're going to be just a venture bet. Like, what do you want to be? Like Uber, so it takes over the world, but they still have yet to turn a profit. And now it's just this venture capital.
We wouldn't be here right now in this studio if we didn't raise with Lightning Ventures,
right?
And that was a syndicate of plebs that invested in us. Right. So it's like what, like yeah, man, like.
Yeah. And we're constantly like, we have yet to raise any money and people are oftentimes like shocked by that. Like, what? So you have like this app that's like, looks
can't wait
nice
till I make
and
my
it's
first million, Michael.
Improving. And you
do not
guys
have to worry about anything, Papa.
You guys are like,
you get that first million, Papa. I'm telling you.
You guys are like, you
just
guys
gonna drop it in Oshi.
Money yet?
Just gonna drop it in there, swish, and be like, Michael, you take this and do whatever you want with it. I'm betting on you. And that's the thing I think most people don't realize is like the more and more we've been working with startups, the more I realize it literally is the person. The ideas thing, like it's the app, but in reality, it's the person.
It's the execution.
It's the person. It's the execution. It's the work ethic. It's all that, and you just meet all those check boxes, and the product will get its place worked out. But people don't know a diamond when they see it. But it's okay, man. It's just gonna make you a more shinier diamond because pressure, as it cooks, right. it just makes beautiful diamonds.
That's right, man. Hey, there's certainly a lot of pressure. That's for sure. There's a lot of pressure, man. But I do pretty well under pressure. So it's just, it'll take time.
What do you thinking for this next one? What do you thinking for this next Bitcoin block party? Because Rainey looks beautiful, man, especially at night.
Oh yeah.
What do you think of this Bitcoin block party? It's going to be.
So this one I think is really going to be special. So the one that we did in 2021, like no one could come into the US from outside the country too.
Oh, because it was COVID, right?
Yeah. And so, not that we really cared, but people couldn't get in, I don't think. And not to say that people would some people would for sure fly out specifically for something like this, but now this time we're doing it during BitBlock Boom Week.
Oh,
so there are already going to be hundreds of extra people that
never experienced one.
Never experienced one. So literally, dude, we've barely done any marketing on this thing and it's next week. So just so you know, we're pretty busy, but we already have over 100 RSVPs, and typically you see at least 50% more people show up than the RSVP count. So we should be sitting pretty a couple hundred people plus cool. Hundreds more that have no idea that this is even happening. And hopefully they'll be here, a few days before BitBlock Boom. We're basically, I think Tuesday, they're going to take people to Houston for the Houston Bitcoin meetup that's focused primarily on mining.
Really?
And Wednesday.
What's going on Tuesday in Houston?
Yeah, I think that's the standard Houston Bitcoin meetup. And
I thought it was Thursday.
Maybe they're just doing that one specifically on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I haven't even gotten the update. Maybe they've changed that.
It's a long drive.
But Wednesday, I think there's something else going on Wednesday in the morning time.
Voltage is doing something. I want to check that out.
I want to say, is that Wednesday? Maybe that's Wednesday.
Be Wednesday, yeah.
And then Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. we're shutting her down. We're going to be having the block party.
It's going to be so epic.
All the businesses are both.
I can't wait, dude.
They're all going to be either doing.
Should we do laser masks again?
That would be really cool.
I can make those.
Man, how can we need to get an army of plebs to do that. That was hard work for you guys. I was over there doing the lights. I was
no, you were hacking all the lights.
Oh,
and looking back, we didn't even need those lights, honestly.
No, I think it was an interesting thing, but yeah.
We have these lights.
Maybe even just
we got these lights. We just need to put batteries on them.
Yeah.
Or actually you can use one of these and just run it.
True. Yeah, so we did that. Yeah, so all the businesses there are going to have ibex pay point of sales. So, hey, if you're yo, I don't want to download the Oshi app, totally fine, man. Still just scan that freaking invoice.
Yeah.
Pay with Lightning. Awesome. No problem. Businesses getting your Bitcoin. Wow. This is cool. If you want to get some stats back and check out the map of other Bitcoin accepting businesses, other deals, look, you can hop on Oshi. You can buy something on there. You
That's
can
what
get
I
your
do.
sats back. We'll probably have like 10, 15, 20, maybe 50% sats back
cattle?
on some things.
About
Heck
KNC
yeah.
cattle, bro.
Man, we're seeing more and more people buy these boxes, these beef boxes. It's really cool to
Here,
see.
let me show you how much. I
We're
got
really
a lot
proud
of
of that,
sats
man.
back.
It's been a long time coming.
I was able to get KNC cattle, and dude, we cooked them up here during the documentary.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah, dude, look at this.
Oh, by the way, you have like,
Look at that. I don't know if they could see that, but like I have a lot of evangelist awards or rewards.
yeah, let me see how much, because
I don't know. It's going, Michael.
So look, so by the way, that is not updated. By the way, okay, so we found a little bug in this for certain users.
Mhm.
You actually have like 300,000 sats that we owe you.
Whoa, okay, well send it over.
Oh no, yeah, I remember.
But even without that, Michael, like look, these are the purchases I made. Like you could see here, like all the sats that I've earned, and like the taco pleb bundle. I like to call it the taco pleb pack, but that one I earned a lot of sats on it. So and then they delivered it here to Pleb Lab, and I had all the steaks, and it was good, dude.
I just got my half beef, my half cow, like a couple days ago, delivered from KNC. I pay with Lightning. I bought a half cow, pay with Lightning. They delivered it to my door.
It works fine, dude. This is the thing I don't think people realize. Like this whole thing is here. So I don't have to worry about anything else than just looking at my Oshi app. Like if I want to find local things, just go to Oshi, find it here. And from there, I can even get conference tickets now too.
Yeah. We're going to have something really cool with BTC Media coming up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I know, I know. This is but this is where I'm trying to say. It's like it doesn't. It just like I want to get to a point where I no longer have to pull up Yelp, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can just pull up Oshi. Like if I can get to that point at some point where I no longer have to pull up Yelp, I just pull up Oshi and I can find for anything that I want, reviews, anything like that. Right. How Bitcoiner friendly are they? Like if I can just find that out. I'm not sure if that's where you're going, but
we're getting there.
I just don't want to use Yelp anymore.
Yeah.
It's just weird with ads. I'd rather use Oshi and let Oshi be my Yelp.
Yeah. We're getting there. Like we want people
I'm not sure if that's what you're doing, but
yeah, we want people to open up the Oshi app and they will find all the Bitcoin accepting businesses, like that's a curated list of Bitcoin accepting businesses. If you go to most websites and stuff that do this, they're all super outdated. Like they have, and like some of them were literally on like 2014 or something. Like you have no idea if they're still accepting it.
Check this out, Michael. Like if Oshi is my new Yelp, then I never have to worry about that. I'm looking strictly at reviews from Bitcoiners. I am able to get all my discounts and everything in sats denominated back to me. I can get evangelist stuff. Why the F would I use Yelp anymore? I wouldn't. I would just use Oshi. And that's where I think like people don't get like where the long like the long tail is for Oshi. Right. It's like, and then not only that, the thing that Yelp doesn't do, they don't have Bitcoin block parties. Yeah. And they don't have Bitcoin rewards. They don't have a Michael Atwood. And then they also don't even talk to the actual businesses. They call them on the phone like a robot calls them. And it's just like, dude, this is, and the businesses actually have to pay Yelp.
Right.
It doesn't work. It's broken. It needs to be like completely redone. And like Oshi's going to do it and it's going to be game over. Like,
yeah, we're kind of taking pieces from like Yelp, from DoorDash, from Groupon, from like Amazon, from all these different things. We're figuring this stuff out. We're trying to help promote these businesses because we want these businesses to become like a Bitcoin faucet for their communities. Like you're going to buy stuff, you're going to use Cash App, you're going to use Strike for the majority of people, right? Some people, sure, use Zeus, use Blue Wallet, use Moon Wallet, whatever you want to use, whatever Lightning Wallet you want. Use your own node, whatever.
It's exactly like Stacker News in the early days where no one saw it. Like no one saw how Stacker News was going to play out, but Keon was doing the exact same thing. So our onboard LN Lightning, or was it LN URL, Twitter login, like whatever. It's the same thing. It's just that they didn't see where it was headed. And then by the time they saw it, it was too late. Right. Because he already did a small raise and then he did a bigger raise and like he was able to pick who he wanted. And I think people just don't realize like where Oshi is headed. I see it, dude. I've been seeing it since the first day I met you.
We appreciate you, man.
But like,
you're a fan.
I'm a big fan, dude.
You're a fan, man. Yeah, we're just now starting to work on reaching more consumers now. Cause like we have not sent a single email. Anybody that signed up. So we require an email to sign up just so we can verify your account, whatever. So if you lose your account, like you don't lose your sats. So we wanted to do something with that for now. We have not sent a single email. Like there's nothing that we know, which is our bad, but we're so focused on other things. Now we're like, okay, we need to reach out to these people that have signed up, people in Austin, the Dallas area, wherever. And we're like, hey, like we got a bunch of businesses for you on here that you totally forgot about this app even exists. We're constantly making improvements. Like, let's go buy your beef in Bitcoin. Like, get sats back on this, or you can just pay with your debit or credit card and like get fucking nothing. Like, choice is yours. Like, screw over the business too. Like, look, pay with Bitcoin, use Strike, use Cash App, use whatever you want. Earn Bitcoin rewards.
It's all built into the app, and I think that's where they don't see where it's going. But it's fine. You know what?
Hey, the numbers are all up and to the right.
And you know what's interesting though? This is where I think once this guy, because there's another person I'm talking to, where he's literally working. I don't want to say what he's working on. I'll tell you after the show, but he's working on something to where that onboarding process that you're talking about is completely done.
Amazing.
In Austin. So if he continues to do what I think he's going to do and knocks out the onboarding process, then he could literally plug in everybody, voltage, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. And then at that point, it's game over. So literally, if he goes and does that, then all you need to build is just the social layer of it. Yep. And Oshi's already halfway there and they have the lead in that. And that's the thing I think people aren't pricing in yet. Right. And when they figure it out, it's going to be too late.
Yeah. Think of it like this. Like we started this like it was like 3 years ago. We started thinking about what this would look like whenever all the businesses are accepting Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay. And then we started thinking about what it looked like to actually get them on board and to do the pitch. And like people are still thinking about, well, just how do we onboard the businesses, or what do I do, or what tools I go? We're so far beyond that. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing. But what we get to do though is we kind of get to trailblaze this, like, okay, we are on the ground, we're getting these businesses set up, and we know, generally like what makes them say yes, why they want to do it and why they want to try it. So we're already trying to build out this application layer above like just the accepting part. Like that part's solved. People don't even realize it generally. That part's solved. It can get easier. Heck yes, it can. But it's like, there are some ways in which you can do it where it's like so simple for businesses, but then they go, okay, cool. Now what? Like nothing. No one knows about it. No one cares who. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to prevent them from just swiping their card? Like, how am I supposed to give them the greater incentive? And that's where we come in. And, the world we see, every business is going to be able to accept Bitcoin payments in some way, shape, or form. And we think it's going to happen faster than people think. I'm not saying like 6 months or a year. I'm saying like within a couple of years, I think majority of businesses are going to have some way to accept Bitcoin payments over Lightning. And the next step is, how do you gamify that? How do you incentivize the consumers? Because the businesses, it doesn't matter if they accept Bitcoin. If consumers
I love
don't
where your
know
mind is going here. You're getting it.
So like
you already know. I don't even have to tell you. You already know.
I mean, we talked
about it, but
yeah, I mean,
it's so game over.
But we're hoping we're not too far ahead, because that's the thing. Like, look,
it doesn't. Even if you are too far ahead, you still are going to be able to get there before everybody else. And then it's literally just grabbing all the social aspects to it.
Right.
And you're already doing that.
Well, look, I just remember like listening to Michael Saylor podcast like 2 years ago, and I'm like, or a year and a half ago, whatever. And I'm just like listening to like all these different like big names in space talk about how like nobody's going to spend their Bitcoin. You don't want to spend your Bitcoin. Yeah. And I'm just over here like, man, I respect these guys so much, but they don't know jack. So fucking wrong. Like, but now, like, if you notice, like a lot of these people have totally flipped their sentiment about these things.
Dude, it's because they're not on the ground level, Michael. Like they're not out in front. They're not on in the front line, so they don't know anything.
Right.
And this is where I feel like it's kind of sad. Like,
well, it's coming to a head. People are realizing
all this posturing that people are doing online and Twitter and stuff, and it's just like, dude, you're not even on the front lines doing anything. Yeah. What are you talking about? You're just you're just parroting what you hear the front lines guys doing. Right. And guess what, Michael? We're on the front lines. Right. So we see everything. And this is kind of the sentiment that I've figured out back in January. It's like the generals are going to do what the generals are going to do. Like we're on the front lines until they come meet us on the front lines and talk to us. Like I'm just going to keep building the future I see. And then like we'll be here when you need us.
That's the beauty about it all, man.
Like it's Bitcoin, right? It's like
exactly.
And you're doing the same thing. Like you're going to build out the future that you see. And if people catch up, cool.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
that's the power of Bitcoin.
Oh, like whenever people are saying, oh, Lightning doesn't work, no one's ever going to be able to use it. We were like,
they said that last year.
Yeah. I mean, shit, all the time. Like whenever we first started this, we literally had it to where like we didn't even have, we were so concerned about anything over like
the cell tower. Remember?
Oh yeah.
We were concerned about the cell tower than anything else.
Yeah. Man, we had it to where like, we were afraid of like somebody put an item on there that was more than like $30 because, now we're like doing cows, but we're just, cause the boundaries are like constantly being pushed. And granted, $1,600 Lightning transaction it's not easy right now.
Especially in a bear market.
Yeah. So like, but now like $100, $200, like using these different services, of course, it's always going to work. It's going to work 99% of the time. Unless you're trying to do something fancy but it's just getting better, man. Everything's getting better.
It's getting better all the time.
Yeah. The haters going to hate, but we're just going to keep moving forward. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But you know what? We're definitely moving in the right direction. And that's a good thing.
I feel like for the most part, we have the right people in our corner, like the Odells, the Martys, the Texas Slims, Parkers. Like we have the right people in our corner. So even if the other ones don't believe in us, like we have the right people in our corner, like helping us along the way. So that's the way I look at it. Like not everybody, like the sailors or even like whoever else is out there that thinks that we're a bunch of crazy Bitcoiners in Austin or wherever in Nashville, like they'll catch up eventually and then they'll see like, oh, these guys were onto something in Nashville and in Austin and they'll see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is
all you could do is just ignore and keep going.
Yeah. I mean, basically whenever we were building this out, we were like, so Strike wasn't even really invented yet. It was Olympus. And then before that, it was Spark Swap. And then in between that, it was Escher. And there were all these different solutions. We're like, oh no, people are going to be able to pay with Lightning easy. And then Cash App did it, right? And like I remember talking with some investors early on and I'm like pitching them the idea of Oshi. And like, I'm just so confident in it, just as confident as I was then as I am now. And they would be like, how no one can pay with Lightning. And I was like, well, there's Strike. And they're like, what's Strike? And I was like,
oh, wow, dude.
Just really? Like, it's just still so early. And look, I mean, we'll see how this all plays out, but I'm still very confident in the direction this is all going. And I feel like we're all still the underdogs here. It's so funny to me, but
you kind of already see it with
day.
Like Fountain and Stacker News, what they're doing. Like they built this whole like social graph to it. And like you already have all that already built into Oshi. Could it be finely tuned a little bit more? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. But that's the long tail. Like that's the thing that we should be chasing is the network effect. And if you already built out the network, then there is just effects. And guess what happens? Guess what happens in a network effect? Bitcoin block parties are a great network effect. Right. And this is where I think once people will see it, they'll finally click to them that, oh crap, like he's built out this whole social quote unquote network inside of the Oshi app. And then at that point, you already have all that goodwill built into the Oshi app. Right. So you draw a nice little comfortable emotional feeling when you are in that Oshi app. Like people recognize it. People say, oh, this is Michael. Like this is what they're doing with it. Like, of course I want to use it. Of course I want to spend my Bitcoin through it. This is why I spend my Bitcoin through it. Right. It's the same thing, dude. And people aren't pricing that in. Yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to like really like unleashing all of these awesome people that just love Bitcoin and they want to get involved with their community and embed it into their community, like meetup organizers, everything. We're getting closer and closer. We're refining things. I think there will come a time whenever I think it's going to hit people.
I think even G in San Antonio, he was telling me that he got some people on Oshi or not. I'm not sure if that whatever happened, but he was telling me that they were asking about Oshi app down there.
Yeah, we
have
people all over the country that are really passionate about this, and we're building a team, a small Salesforce, commission based. Like they are really passionate about it, and they are true believers in it. I have yet to meet anybody that doesn't believe in it if they sit down with me for 5 to 10 minutes. But we're gonna get there, man. So how is it working with ibex as opposed to two crazy Bitcoiners from Austin? It's probably a lot more professional, right? Well, it's So we onboard a lot of businesses to ibex because for the retail point of sale and brick and mortar businesses, it's like just such an awesome solution. It makes things much easier for these businesses. And ibex is just a team of go-getters and they hustle hard. And so it's been really nice to kind of work alongside them. And, you know, they onboard businesses and then they tell their businesses like, hey, like, okay, you accept Bitcoin now. Now you got to like promote that you do. Like, otherwise no one is going to know about it.
Yeah, no one knows. Yeah.
Like, we need to put you on the map. You need to like run some little specials and it'll be good. It'll be mutually beneficial for you and your customers. And so you get on Oshi. So then there's a lot of cross-pollination there. We onboarded a ton of businesses to ibex. We'll be doing it again actively this week and next. And
is it Elise?
Annalise.
Annalise is here, right?
Yeah, she's
She
here.
came by Pleb Lab today.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And the ibex team is just awesome. Like I said, and again, we're not exclusive to that. I mean, look, we've gotten businesses set up with OpenNode and Strike and BTC Pay Server. Like, we're compatible with all those. So, you know, but what we find at the local level, brick and mortar commerce, ibex is fantastic. So, and really, I think they're raising the bar for a lot of other Bitcoin payment providers. We already saw another provider like dramatically lower their fees. And I truly think, I don't list any names. I truly think that it's because ibex and, you know, Strike and some others are really leading the charge there in setting the bar. Like raising the bar, like setting the standard, and it's going to force all of them to lower their fees towards zero and improve. I've talked with so many businesses.
Was that in Miami too?
ibex does this, and I'm like,
was ibex the one that you had in Miami too with the Oshi stuff? Was that in Miami?
Yeah, ibex.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah, okay. That's what it looks similar.
Yeah. And then they listen, man. Like they really, you know, we're out there.
They get it.
They constantly ask us for feedback we give feedback and they ask and. You know,
it's good because I remember last year, I hope we could talk about this, but I remember last year you were having a lot of problems, like trying to work with like Stripe and some of these other bigger payment processors. And I was just like, dude, they don't realize that you're actually helping them. It's like, and it was just kind of frustrating. I remember thinking like, do they not see where this is going? Like, it's so good that you found ibex that's like understands this a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, we've even like had some integrations with point of sales. And you know, we're trying to get another big one that would be really helpful, but you know, take it step by step. We're not asking for, we ask for integrations from some places, but some of them we can just do it no matter what. And we can find like hacky ways to do it that are still good. And, you know, if the business owners start demanding, integrations, then the payment providers are going to listen. Again, it's totally grassroots, bottom up, not top down. You have to start with these business owners. Like you could go to Square and Toast or whatever and Clover and be like, hey, you should do this integration for Bitcoin. And they're going to be like, yeah, no, like you're just a company coming to us that's like trying to integrate with Bitcoin. Yeah. Bitcoin. Yeah, whatever. But once their businesses start saying, hey, like, how can we make this process easier? Because we have these Bitcoin customers, we have this Oshi app, and like, how can we do this? And they start going to Toast and to Square and to all these other companies. That speaks 100 million times louder than like a few Bitcoin companies approaching them whenever they have no interest. They've heard nothing from their clients to do it. And so we're starting to see that a little bit. Like I've actually gone to some businesses, I pitch them Oshi, and they're like newer businesses. And they're like, well, what's the point of sale that makes this the easiest for us? And I'm like, actually Square will make it the easiest for you. We have an integration with them. And they're like, okay, I'll use Square. I was thinking about Toast or Clover, but I mean, yeah, if this is going to get us the Bitcoin stuff, then we'll use Square. And I'm like, you know, I wonder if there's enough of those, you know, anecdotal things, examples where I go to Toast and be like, hey, you know, just say no, like because we have this integration with Square, you're losing out on some clients here and there, you know. And in fact, like I could approach these and say, hey, Toast works really well with us too. And I mean, they're already paying people $500 if you refer somebody to Square, like, so that must be worth a lot to them.
But that's the other thing I think most people don't get, Michael, and this is where I clearly see it, especially even now more than ever, is that Oshi is that social layer to it. Mm-hmm. Like imagine it in the early days, if like none of these places were accepting like MasterCard or Visa, and Yelp was going out there onboarding these businesses with MasterCard and Visa.
Right.
Like, how much would that change things? Square is not going to build a social graph to their payments network. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So you're going to need somebody. You're going to need an app like a Yelp or something like that to do that. And this is where it's already Bitcoin native. You're already a Bitcoin
platform.
Yeah, that's a cross platform that's already Bitcoin native, and that's where Oshi fits in there. It's clear as day to me. Like, that's what that is.
Right.
You might be a little bit early.
Yeah.
But like,
we're getting less and less early by the day, which is nice.
yeah.
And every now and then, sometimes we make giant leaps into like, you know, or time catches up really fast.
Mm-hmm. Like Miami.
Yeah, like time can catch up
like
really
during Miami,
fast
right?
Sometimes. Like sometimes you're like, man, we are so early. And then something happens like in the space, there's a new integration or a new announcement by someone. And like
then
time just
get it.
Time just moved ahead like 6 months in the blink of an eye. And, you know, I just think we're so close, like a couple more little big moves like that, like big steps from either a big company or like a change in the mindset of business owners due to current, you know, the current state of affairs and with the government overreach or whatever the case may be, just how they think with inflation or this or that. Like this stuff will come at you fast. And so we're trying to get there so fucking early and like build a reputation and build a relationship with these businesses is like, we are the people that are here before anyone else. And we're the ones that have built the tools before anyone else that you need. And we're trying to build this network effect. You know?
This is
and again, the cool thing
too,
is we're totally agnostic. Remember, we're not the payment provider. We're not the point of sale. We're, like you said, this social application layer that helps connect the businesses to the Bitcoiners or the businesses to local consumers that would like to earn Bitcoin and use Bitcoin and participate in that economy. We'll have gamification. We'll have all sorts of things.
That's another thing too. I think I've come to realize, Michael, and this probably happened about 2 or 3 months ago, where I think Austin at this point is on the cutting edge of a lot of this Bitcoin and Lightning stuff. Just because we're talking to each other every day, we're working with each other on separate things. We're all like sharing ideas and fostering new ways of doing things. And it just goes for any company that comes to Pleb or it comes to the Commons. Like it's just any company.
Right.
And I realize now that we're on the cutting edge of a lot of this stuff. And so a lot of people out there have to like, they'll catch up. It'll take them some time to figure out like what it is they're doing in Austin. But I've realized that that's what it is, dude. Like that's why they don't see it. It's because we're living it,
right? And
we're talking about it amongst ourselves, and that's why we know. But the vast majority of people didn't see it until they went to Miami for the first time, and then went to like the thing that you onboarded with Oshi and stuff, and then like literally they were like, oh. Now I get it. Like this is what, and then so what's going to happen here at Bitcoin Block Party next week, people are going to see it and then they're going to understand like, oh, this is why that works. Exactly. Now I get it. This is why Oshi, and they'll figure that out. And I think until people actually come out and actually do these things, this is why it's important. Like if you're listening right now or watching this, look how awesome and fun time they're having out there. That's going to be what it's going to be like next Wednesday at the Bitcoin Block Party. Right. And then they'll get it. And then they'll see it. Right. But you don't see it.
At least they'll like get a glimpse.
Because it's a feeling too, man. Yeah. You're talking about 500 people all talking about the app that you made in a physical space. Right. Not fucking Twitter. Yeah. Not like pinche Facebook. Like in the physical space. Talking about your app. Laughing, having a good time over it. Like that is real. That is something that you can measure. Right. You can't measure all this other engagement farming that people do online. Like that doesn't exist.
Exactly. I'm realizing
people don't get it. It's okay. I'm
realizing more and more like Twitter is great, but
it's dead.
It's just a bunch of talkers. And it's like sometimes the people with the biggest following, they got that because they do really great at talking, and that's okay. Like that's fine. There's nothing wrong. Or they built a following another way, and then they talk a lot on Twitter. Like I guess what I'm saying is,
it's become MySpace.
It's more talk and it's less action. Like
it's all talk. It's become like this is the way I was telling Keon last week on Stagger News Live was like, it's basically like Twitter for me has become what MySpace was when it was dying. And like people were moving over. And I think Damas is going to be the new place where people move over and stack your news. And there'll be others that come along. And maybe Oshi will have that built in too, where you'll have like this new Yelp thing that Oshi's building out. I don't want to say your plans, but you know what I mean? Like, and I think people will realize that network effect Twitter used to have, it's literally just used for PR releases now. And like, that's where it's just like, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Like there's no proof of work there. Like all the proof of work is happening elsewhere on these other decentralized apps and Bitcoin apps, and like people will get it. And it's just, it's last days, dude. I'm serious about this.
It's going to take time. I mean, I'll just never forget. I made this meme video back in like, whenever like Elon started buying Bitcoin. Okay. Like made this meme video. It was like the Lord of the Rings, I don't remember which one it was, but like whenever they look to the east and the sunlight and Gandalf like shows up and he's like riding down the mountain and like to Helm's Deep or whatever. And like, it was an epic scene, right? And I like dubbed it up and put like Michael Saylor and I did all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And it just got like crazy fucking engagement. And I was like, man, and I could like sit here and be like, literally feel like I'm helping to build a Bitcoin economy. And no one gives a fuck. Everybody like they just want to like see like this talk, this media, this engagement. That's okay. And that's fine. But it's like, there is so much stuff that's happening behind the scenes that people on Twitter or even people on social media in general don't give a fuck about until like they experience it and it just happens for them. And so, you know, I'm hoping for a transition where
it's proof of work.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for a transition where, people stop just talking on Twitter all the time, which again, it's important. There's a lot of education that's happening on there, but let's like start to transition this to actual like real world application of it. And it's ready. You don't have to like have bigger blocks to do it or any of that bullshit. Like in the prior bull bear market, like you can do it right now with Lightning and it's good for Bitcoin. Like there's no doubt about it. And so it's just maybe that I personally think that, and I just say think boys, but like amazing content that some of these people will put out, talking about diving into the nuance, stuff that like educated the shit out of me whenever I needed it the most about Bitcoin that led me to where I am now. But is it time where we just need to stop telling people about Bitcoin like constantly and transition more and more into just showing them? Like getting out there at the Beef Initiative conference, talking to these ranchers, literally just getting them with Bitcoin in their hands, getting them with the wallet, showing them how easy it is. Because guess what? They're not all going to take the time to read like Robert Breedlove and all like the gradually, then suddenly from Parker Lewis. As amazing as that stuff is, we're reaching a new period in time where it's almost like that seems pretty saturated and there's awesome content, but it's time where the content needs to be transitioned a bit more to proof of work. Application. Yeah. Hey, proof of work and making content and writing it, that takes a lot of work. But I want to see actionable things in the communities all over the world. And that's how, like this morning at the coffee shop at Meteor.
How many people did you have there this morning? Like 20 people? Was it 15 people?
How many? Maybe 15. Like it varies.
They're all Bitcoiners.
The kids
there was two or three people.
Yeah.
There's like 2-3 people I'd never met that were, some guy was telling me he was from like California, moved over here. He saw what we were doing. And now he's a Bitcoiner living in North Austin.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, we did that.
Yeah.
Like that's the proof of work that no one sees. And it's just like, and that's because of Oshi app, right?
I mean,
like that's because of the Oshi app. Like Oshi app, and a lot of what you're doing here with Austin Bitcoin Club, because you've taken it over and it's gotten way bigger than we ever thought possible. And now you're doing Bitcoin Block Party. Like they don't realize like this whole social network that you're building, not only in the digital world with like Oshi, but also in the physical world with ABC and all these Oshi meetup. Like they don't get it. They don't get it. They do not see how that has a bigger network effect than anything else. And it's they'll get it sooner or later, Michael.
Yeah, I think sometimes people don't fully realize that it does take a lot of work. And there's definitely an opportunity cost. Like whenever you guys asked me to do ABC and I was like, Austin Bitcoin Club, and I was like, man, I don't know, dude. I'm already really busy as it is.
I know,
like,
we were tired of doing it too. We're just like, it's too much.
Like taking this on, but ultimately I like convinced myself. I was like, you know what? there's an opportunity cost here. The opportunity cost is I have less time to work on Oshi if I'm doing this. Okay. So, but the opportunity is that I can reach more people in the physical world. And I can put Bitcoin into the minds of more people. Like half the people in the meetup each month have said they've never been to a Bitcoin meetup before.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. And so like, this is a bear market. So keep that in mind.
How many people have you pumped through there now? I think there's like 1,200.
There's like 14. I think it's up to 1,400 now. Like,
dude,
I think we've grown it, or maybe it's not 1,400. I don't know. Look at it.
We got it to like, we got it close to 1,000
on the right.
We got it close to 1,000 and then you took it over and it went even higher. I want to
say it's gone up like 25, maybe it's 11 something.
Yeah. It's 11:57 right now.
So
and
we've grown it like 15%.
Emails 20%. Every day, people joining.
Yeah. So,
and it's a bear market.
And so,
yeah, that's crazy.
And we haven't even like, again, by the way, people out there, if you want to help us, like we're creating like really good content at Austin Bitcoin Club. We have like some fantastic panels every month. And look, I'm not here to tell you like it's like, dude, it's so hard to get the panel. Like we live in Austin, man. We have a cheat code. I would like reach out to Parker Lewis. Hey Parker, you want to be on the panel? I was like, sure. Yeah. Like I reach out to other people. Hey, you want to be on the panel? Like we build a panel. We're pretty meticulous.
It's a full like conference now.
It's like a mini conference, man. And so yeah, for those of you out there that want to get involved, if you want to help, like we'll send you the media. If you want to clip some cool things, like we'll get you in. We want to start a little Austin Bitcoin Club podcast.
It's literally Michael at austinbitcoinclub.com.
Yeah. Shoot, I don't even know if is it linked to, I don't even know.
Yeah. I set it up on the domain site.
So send me an email sometime and let's make sure it's going through to the right spot.
But yeah, you have all the meetups here. That you do during the week. You're going to Cantina 512 right here down the street from Pleb on Rainey Street.
That's right.
Bitcoin dinner is usually at the Meteor, Bitcoin breakfast. Then we got the Bitcoin block party that we were just talking about.
Almost 120 people now RSVPing. So that's...
Dude, it's going to go up, dude. People. We're going to get those numbers pumped.
We're just starting to promote where we go.
And this is where I realized, Michael, that since we're getting all these regular people, like they're coming to the Austin Bitcoin Club first, because this is where I think people need to stop making meetups. Like if you're listening out there, stop making meetups. No normie person wants to go to a meetup. They want to be a part of a club. Until they figure this out, like you're going to have, I'm telling you, stop making meetups, make clubs. Like this is how you get regular people. Like I A/B tested this. I know, trust me, I know. Make clubs, not meetups. Change your meetup to a club. You get faster engagement, faster people. You get more people coming in.
Right.
Like it's a whole thing, dude. I researched it before we did it.
Right.
But go to Bitcoin Block Party. If you go to austinbitcoinclub.com, the website's still there. So all the links are there. But this is where I'm saying, dude, like what you built out, dude, where you've taken this is insane, man. There's no way we would have been ever able to take it this far. And it's kind of cool to see you like make it its own thing now. Cause it's like, man,
it's fun. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Some banger guests, dude.
Yeah, this next month. So we're going to have Cole from KNC Cattle.
Boss.
And he's going to bring his friend Johnny. And Johnny is like this like old school nose to tail butcher. Okay. Like he's bringing it back and he's going to teach us all about like these nose to tail cuts. We're actually going to have, we're not going to have tacos or pizza next week, guys. This is a not next week, food intelligence panel. This next Austin Bitcoin Club, September 1st, Thursday, September 1st, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. A food intelligence panel. Okay, so we're going to have Parker Lewis. We'll have Texas Slim. We'll have the Meat Mafia guys.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome guys. And we might have a very, very, very special guest. We're trying to finalize some things.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
But we're also getting, first of all those guests are special in their own right.
Yeah.
But come and join us. We're going to have not tacos or pizza this time. We're going to have beef. We're going to have KNC Cattle beef. We got steak, guys. Come on out. Enjoy it. This is about food intelligence.
So you're getting to get beef?
Yeah, we're going to have some ranchers there. Like we're going to
get ABC?
Yeah.
Wow, we have come a long way from eating sandwiches from HEB.
Have like a mini beef steak. Okay, again, look. You know, keep in mind, guys. Like we gotta feed like
150 people.
Yeah, like we gotta feed a lot of people. So I wouldn't come starving, but like come hungry. We're going to have some beef. We're going to have different cuts for you to try, different things for you to look. Don't expect like a ton of ribeye or anything, guys. Like take it easy. But we're going to have different things. Like maybe we'll have some very unique cuts that you've never thought you'd ever try. But Johnny's going to cook some stuff up and he's going to teach us how to do it. Yeah, this guy.
Whoa.
This is what it is. So they're going to run a little.
He was the one that
seminar.
did the Kerrville, right?
That's right.
Oh, that dude's a chef.
That guy is a professional chef, caterer, nose to tail butcher. That's his thing. So we're going to have a little seminar on that. That's going to be kind of like, we always do like a 30, 45 minute type of, it's going to be all about.
How's
like,
Logan working out with you?
Yeah, Logan's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Such an awesome guy,
I taught him everything he knows, right?
I do. You taught him quite a bit, yeah? No, Logan already had his own tricks up his sleeve.
I know, dude. Logan surpassed me already. I'm so sad.
Dude, like, he's been doing an awesome job.
Logan's amazing.
I was already told myself.
I love seeing his, from when I met him to where he is now, dude, like he's so gifted, man.
Everyone's leveling up. I mean, did you see the last set that we had there?
I know, dude.
We got Jose with the 4K video. We had like, man, you helped us like kind of level up and then, okay, yeah, get some lighting, get all this. We're trying to make it better and better. We're trying to make this like, guys, we're trying to make this into like a little mini conference because
it is.
Because like, it's sort of like the Nashville thing. Like, look, we have a duty. This is why I took this ultimately, by the way. We have a duty.
I love hearing that.
We have a duty to make this meetup one of the best, if not the best.
Country.
It's not even a competition. It's like, we have so much talent here. We have to strive to be as good as we can be in the meetup scene. Like, there is no reason why we shouldn't. Like,
wow, I didn't even think about it.
We have an obligation.
I just wanted to start the thing, and now you're like taking it to another level.
This is why I decided. I was
awesome,
like, look,
dude, that you
I'm going to try my best to make this as good as it can be.
The premiere.
And again, it's not a competition. Like, Nashville's awesome.
No, I love Nashville. Dude, we had such a blast last month.
Yeah, I love it. I've been to like 4
I want to go back. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, but I've also like looked at what they did too. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like this. I like this. I want to change this up. I want to do something totally from left field over here. We have a duty to do this. And for everyone out there, start a Bitcoin meetup, start small. If you need help, reach out.
Bitcoin club.
Yeah, like in Reading, I had a Bitcoin meetup of like 3 or 4 people.
Change it to a club if you have a meetup.
Yeah, that's right. Change it to a club. Change to a club or do something. Change up the name of it.
Start buying up all these city clubs. If you guys don't go, I'm gonna change them to clubs first. So.
Right. Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna start.
Get it going, guys.
No, seriously, like, dude, I tested this. I'm telling you, club meetup.
Right.
People are faster to click on it. Get more members of the club.
Swag. You guys already have the ABC. Can I get the design on that? Like, because I
dude, you can have it. We just use sticker mule.
Okay, I need to get.
And I have all the PSDs if you need them. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, you should have. We never made. I think all we made was hoodies because we couldn't afford shirts.
Yeah, I want to do some shirts.
I mean, we made Pleb Lab shirts because we can finally afford shirts. But yeah, dude.
Like, I love the ABC blocks, and I want to get like a designer, maybe do a different design. I want to have like different designs because that's the other thing. The swag. The swag
is really nice.
I had a couple people reach out to me like in the same week whenever I was like wearing that sweatshirt. And one of them was like a woman and her 2 kids. And we're like, is that real? There's an Austin Bitcoin club. And I was like, yeah. They're like, we had no idea. This is cool. My son wants to do mining. So now she's like directly interacting. She's like, it's like at like HEB in Georgetown. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to come. Like, yeah, you should. Like, imagine if you had like 100 people like wearing this shirt here and there. The network effect will just grow, and we're gonna like educate our city. We're gonna save our city.
Me and Tristan went out to go eat pizza like over there, South Lamar, and some dude like stopped him and like, "Hey, you're a part of the Austin Bitcoin Club?" And he was like, "No, I don't run it, but my friend does." And like, it was a whole conversation.
Yeah,
and he was just like one of the wait staff people there. So yeah, the more swag you have out there, and it doesn't even need to be like badass or anything. It just needs to be out there.
Yeah.
I'll send you all the stuff for it, dude. Because I need
to get like some drop ship stuff going. I can put up the shirts on Oshi app too. Like, I can start selling.
I think the biggest problem for me at the time was we just didn't have time to do those things.
Yeah.
Like we just didn't have anything left in the gas tank.
Right. Right.
Even now, like between this TFTC and then Pleb Lab, like my time is like really full.
Yeah.
And I know you're feeling the same thing.
Yeah, man.
Because you're juggling everything.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on. Yeah, because Oshi is a team of 2.
Yeah. JP, right?
Yeah. He'll be there.
Oh, shut up.
He's coming.
Now you're coming, JP? Really? Now you're coming to this one, JP?
No, we've been working on this for 3 years. We haven't even met in person.
I can't.
I mean, I met him in person years, like a decade ago in college. That's where we first met. We've been working on this for 3 years. And I have not seen him in person.
It'll be cool to party with him on that street come next Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'm so stoked for it, man. I'm going to tell all my normie friends this week, get them coming.
Let's pump it up. Everybody that's listening to this, please pump it up. By the way, check this out.
If you're anywhere in Texas, just come through.
Yeah.
And you don't have anywhere to stay, come stay at Pleb Lab.
Yeah, make sure you pump the shit out of this, guys. Like, this is a big deal. We want to paint Rainey Street orange. Like, by the time we're done with this, we do a few more of these, like, every business on Rainey Street, people should know that if they buy a beer or they buy food from Rainey Street businesses, they're going to get Bitcoin rewards. They're going to be able to pay in Bitcoin. Like, these businesses are going to thrive. Like, these businesses are getting bought out right now. There's like skyscrapers.
This is why you should support them.
Losing off. We got to support these guys, man.
Look at this, dude. Like, beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I'm going to head over to Rainey Street very soon. I have some work to do over there and get businesses onboarded.
All right.
But everybody listening to this, if you're still listening, hey, you're listening until the end. Thank you so much.
Michael, where can they find you? Where can they find you?
So on Twitter, I'm at DOOOWTA. Duda. You can find us at
it's Atwood back.
Austin BTC Club. You can find us on Oshi app.
Download the Oshi app.
There's
probably places in your area that you can use to get Lightning and back. And
Or you can always buy stuff. We have like FOMO 21 t-shirts. You can buy BitRamp. We're about to do something really cool with Kaboom Racks.
It's a great way to get passive Bitcoin, man. Everybody's into passive Bitcoin. Yeah. This is another way to do it.
Share your ref link with your friends. You get 1% on every purchase they make.
Yeah, and if you come out to the Bitcoin block party next Wednesday, say hi to both of me and Michael. We'll be there. Michael will be working. Yeah. I won't. Taking the night off. No,
Dude, last block party for a while, I actually went to the other food truck park
just to escape.
And I paid him. Yeah, literally. I was like, I saw like Keon and his girlfriend there, his fiance or wife, and I was like, they're like, what are you doing over here? I'm like, I just need to like chill out for a little bit, man. There's like 500 people over there. I just want to eat my tacos.
How could he even talk the next day, dude? Yeah. He was yelling. I was dead.
So come out and join us. Please help spread the word.
Yeah, and also realize too, like ibex, Michael entirely by himself this time. I've helped very little, but like it's all Michael's doing and ibex is doing. So like come out and like tell him thank you. Like because on the end of the day, like if you could just tell somebody for making a great experience for everybody, like just tell them thank you. Like to me, that's like the biggest thing in the world.
But
like
also just you guys coming out, that's rewarding for me in and of itself.
Michael, you're a legend, man. Hey. You'll always be a legend in my heart. That's just the truth.
Thanks, Car. You're doing a killer job. You are a legend.
Nah.
The fucking Car. The producer for TFTC, Thriller Bitcoin, Pleb Lab.
I'm gonna pick it up, Michael.
You kidding me, man?
I'm going to pick it up. But I appreciate the sentiment. But no, come out to the Bitcoin block party next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And let's get out there and let's make light.
Let's do it. TikTok next block.
I heard your mother, now she's gone.